Now to the rest of our team in Washington, our justice correspondent Pete Williams, our chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell, and David Gregory, of course, the moderator of NBC's Meet the Press. Pete, beginning with you, as a practical matter, as a legal matter, what happens next in all of this?
Well, first, they're not all coming here. About 50 of them have already been cleared for release to other countries, and that number will undoubtedly grow. Secondly, it's going to be a long time before any of them ever stand trial. The federal courts here in Washington are now slogging through 232 lawsuits from these detainees who say you've got the wrong guy, challenging the government's authority to hold them. And once they get here to the U.S., that'll touch off a whole new round of lawsuits. And finally, Brian, as for how many will be declared unreleasable but untriable, no firm number yet. But it could range, we're told, between 50 and 100, Brian.
So, Pete, bottom line, we're talking years before substantial disposition of this.
Yes, even though they may be here waiting in prisons for that disposition, right.
All right, Pete Williams. Now to Andrea Mitchell. And Andrea, you and I spoke earlier today. You concentrated on the vice president's speech, and specifically, I heard you say some patterns in the way he delivered it.
Well, for one thing, the vice president cast himself as the chief defender of the CIA, which is an irony because all during the Bush years he was a great attacker inside, fighting all the time with the CIA. He did say that waterboarding was only used as a last choice when there was no other alternative. That was not the case with Abu Zubaydah. He was waterboarded 83 times, producing no actionable intelligence. He did manage, though, to elevate himself into the chief sparring partner with the President of the United States. That's quite a political achievement. And as Chuck was pointing out, the President has failed to put out this firestorm because his allies on the Hill still say that he has not given them the details that they want.
And to David Gregory, David, it was clear today. We heard from the president. We're going to hear these talking points over and over. The mistake isn't closing it. It was opening it in the first place. We're cleaning up a mess here. But on the other side, do the Republicans think they have found an issue? And is everybody happy with their messenger here?
Not everybody's happy with the messenger, but it is interesting. A lot of Republicans I spoke to today said there was a rallying cry from Dick Cheney, a message to conservatives and to Republicans. This is the issue that we can win politically and we can win substantively, that this administration doesn't have its head on right with regard to the national security of the country. There's also legacy building here, and Dick Cheney is the one at the moment, not former President Bush, to begin the argument, and that is there was not a follow-on attack after 9/11 on the United States. That's where the Bush-Cheney team would like the legacy to be built.
All right. Our thanks to our team in Washington tonight. And before this is all over, we could end up having a debate on national security that in many ways didn't happen in the last campaign. Our thanks to all of you. And by the way, we have posted both of today's major speeches on our website. That, of course, nightly.msnbc.com.